Good morning. This is Secret the Scuffed coming at you live with Apollo Justice, Ace Attorney. I messed with the audio settings a little bit today, and I don't know how it sounds yet because I'm not listening to myself in real time. So if anything seems too loud or too quiet, just let me know. But with that being said, we're gonna head right into this. I want to see if we can get this trial, or not trial, but chapter finished today. I don't recall there being too much, and it is only the second chapter, so it shouldn't be too long. And by that I mean it shouldn't extend into the third day. Now, let's see if I remember any of these voices. What a train wreck that was. I'm glad we made it out of that trial alive. Really? I had fun. And Waki made it through the day, too. Everyone was too obsessed with panties to bother with the real case. But it was a good publicity. Imagine the crowd at my show tonight. You should come, Polly. Yeah. The amazing Mr. Hat will be making an appearance. Hi, folks. I'll be here all week. That's about enough of him. Hello? Ah, Miss Tiella. Thank you for today. The trial went well. Oh, right, no problem. Do you think Waki will be okay? Well, he's not guilty yet. Please, you have to help him. We're supposed to get married next month. Oh, congratulations. What a way to put pressure on the guy. Oh, that's our first mistake of the night. I'm sure there'll be plenty. Please, let me know if there's anything I can do to help. Oh, it's time to get talking. Before that, I want to examine this painting. I don't think I know who this is. An old sepia-tone photograph of a man in a silk hat. The outfit looks a lot like Trucy's, come to think of it. Aren't those clothes the best? I had mine made to match. If you're going to be a magician, you gotta look the part. Trucy is big on appearances, I found. Okay, nothing important. Are you sure about marrying into the Kitagi family? I'm fine with it, and I love Waki with all my heart. Aw, that sounds sweet. That's so sweet. Man, having to do two female voices back to back is gonna be rough on me. So, it doesn't bother you that you'll be, married to the mob? I don't think so. My parents are against it, of course. Say, where did you and Waki first meet, anyway? Good question. Miss Yella doesn't look like the type to have gangster connections. Oh, we met at my old job, actually. Ah, office romance. She's not very forthcoming with information about herself, is she? Did you know that the boss is trying to get out of the business? Really? Mr. Kitaki wants to quit being a gangster? He's trying to transfer his assets into a normal company. He only announced it recently, out of the blue. I hear there's quite a lot of confusion in the ranks. I wonder if that explains that apron. I can't imagine Waki going along with that. He's highly motivated, isn't he? That's not the word I would have used. He said, I'll be the next big boss and keep the family alive. Big boss? I think he's at that age when boys want to make a mark on the world. That's not the way I would have put it. His father moves in a lot of circles. He's really focused on profits. The Yutaki family has been making a killing recently. Again, not the way I would have put it. But Waki says it's not about the money. They have the gangster tradition to uphold. Ooh, a generation gap. They've even got their ever-classic what about the family business thing going on. Usually it's the father worried about the tradition. Can I ask you a question about Waki? I understand he was operated on by the victim, Dr. Maractus. Apparently, yes. I was in his clinic about half a year ago. He messed up my op something bad, and then he just lets me go without a word. See you later, bye. So I gotta go in and get another doc to patch me up again. Yes, it sounded horrible. Lucky has always been fond of fighting, I'm afraid. I'm not sure it qualifies as fighting when pistols are involved. Mr. Gavin was saying his life might be in danger, wasn't he? No, that can't be right. I'm sure he's just trying to scare us. It's scary to think that a surgeon might make a mistake, but it's even scarier when he tries to hide it. I'd like to know a little more about this operation. Maybe it's time to pay the Maractus Clinic a visit. I should be getting home now. Walkie's in your hands, Mr. Justice. Right. Leave it to me. Apollo, I think you're only making her more nervous. Sorry, I'm new at this, okay? It's alright. I believe in you. Well, Apollo really did not save that, saying that he's new to this. That's one of those phrases you should avoid whenever you're trying to appear professional. Let's see, where do we want to head first? Probably Eldunes, since the clinic's right there. Yeah, that seems right. Oh, I can still only go into the garage. Oh, there's nothing new, huh? Alright. In that case, how about the mansion? Oh, nothing here either. People Park, she didn't have anything new yet. No, nothing new there. Does it want me to go talk to Wright? It probably wants me to talk to Wright. So we'll go see that. Whoa, not Wright either. Okay, where's left? Go see Walkie, I guess? Yep, this is it. Looks like Walkie's out for questioning. I really need to talk to him, but I guess we'll come back later. Excuse me. Yes? The other suspect is all through with questioning, sir. The other... Ah, you mean the panty snatcher. Wesley Stickler. So they arrested him too? Alright, let's have a little chat with Mr. Stickler. I hope I don't regret this. He is a valuable witness. He is a bit precious, I'll give him that. Precious? That's an odd way to describe him. Please, keep this brief if you would. I'm quite busy. Is he supposed to be here? Oh, okay, he needed to fade in. I need to finish this paper. Ugh! It's you! Mr. Stickler, we'd like to have a few words with you. Very well, as long as there are few. Nothing would make me happier, believe me. Mr. Stickler, on the night of the murder, you stole... Wait, I can't help but feel I'm being misunderstood. How exactly? Yes, that night I'd obtained a pair of panties, it's true. However, it was my burning curiosity that drove me to do it, nothing more. You wanted to know the trick to my panties, right? You're here too? Oh, great Truzy. Teach me. Yeah? I must know the secret of your panties. My very existence hangs in the balance. Please, make me your apprentice. Apollo, help! I don't know, I think he'd make a great, lovely assistant. Not wrong ending intonation. Don't say that, Apollo. Could you relate what you saw the night of the murder to us one more time? Why not? Though it hardly differs from the testimony I gave in court. The defendant was there in the park that night. Of this I am quite certain. He was pointing a pistol, or something like that, at the victim. That's when I shouted, "Stop, you two! Let's resolve this like gentlemen!" And the next moment, a shot was fired. And this is all true? Really? My panties are gone, my innermost heart revealed. What further reason could I possibly have to lie? I can't think of anything he'd want to hide more than panty snatching, true. It sounds like Walkie was at the scene of the crime after all. I wish it weren't so. Let's try presenting the other pair. Wow, did it say little plums before? I don't think it did. Okay. Okay, nothing to say to that. Anything to say about the knife? Nope. What? I mean, what's the purpose of questioning him? He doesn't seem to have much. Oh, the cell phone. Right. What? Oh, not even anything to say about the cell phone. How about the bowl? Is he just... Did I just need to do a check-in with him? Is that all? That's it! The mystery! The unanswerable riddle! Actually, they're just a normal pair of panties. What? How is that possible? Oh man, my voice got strained a bit there. It just takes practice, that's all. Then you must teach me. You must. To think, if I could produce a pencil, an eraser, a textbook, and a lunch, all from a pair of panties, my life would be complete. He's serious, isn't he? Oh, okay. It seems that he has nothing to say of importance. I guess I just wanted to bring him back one more time. Yeah, that's it. Just wanted to bring him back one more time. Okay. Well, let's head up all the usual places again then. I feel like a really odd detour. I know I said last time quite a few times that they were trying to extend the time that this takes. That really did feel like a time extension. Oh, here we are. Hey, it's Mr. Eldoon! Oh, Mr. Eldoon! Humph. What's wrong? So, you found my stand. That's why I'm here, to thank you. Ah! But now it's a crime scene and they won't let me have it back. That's also why I'm here. I've got no other place to go. Ah, I see. How can a noodle stand be a crime scene? That's what I don't get, Trusty Doll. Even in death, he's after my neck, I tell ya. Bah! Can't even cook an honest noodle. He? Even in death? You mean the victim, Dr. Maractus? I tell ya. It's enough to drive a man to make his soup even saltier. Remind me never to eat his noodles when he's in a bad mood. That stand. For generations it served up the very best noodles us Eldoons can make. A tradition of noodles and salty broth. It's more than a stand, it's history, I tell you. Watch what you say or it might become true. That's a great story, Mr. Eldoon. A single stand passed down from generation to generation. Of course, to be honest, I didn't plan on doing it. That's right, you said something about that. About you rebelling against your pops, was it? Good memory, Trusty Doll. I was a go-getter back in my day. Until my friend next door butted in. In the end, I was left with nothing but this dusty old stand to earn my fortune. Mr. Eldoon, I don't mean to pry, but what exactly did you do before you became a chef? Bah, let old noodles lie, that's what I say. I'm starting to get an idea of what he did, anyway. He stole my dreams and left me with nothing but noodles. And now I don't even have that. Mr. Eldoon, if I might ask, what exactly happened between you and the Maractus Clinic? Eh? Eh? I couldn't help but sense enmity there. Enmity? I hate him. Hated. Him acting like he smells like roses when he's rolling in the mud. Excuse me? He's the only doctor at that clinic, you know. Pretty impressive, eh? I'll tell you the secret to his success. The mob. You mean the Kitaki family? They're always having one of them turf wars or whatnot. Always an injury or two that needs fixin'. Maractus saw a chance for some business, so he started giving the Kitaki family a good deal. A deal? Every fifth operation for free. He stole the idea from my pops. One free bowl of noodles a week, he used to say. Can a doctor just decide to do that? What about the insurance companies? Oh, no doubt it's illegal. But I got him in good with the family. What? But it got him in good with the family. Pretty soon he was getting all the business in town, leaving me here in the dark, up to my neck in soupy noodles. I think I figured out Mr. Eldoon's former occupation. Can't hurt to ask, Apollo. Mr. Eldoon? Or should I say Dr. Eldoon? Figured it out, did ya? That's right, I was a doctor, a surgeon, until the year before last. So, Mr. Maractus was your rival? You like those onions they put in the soup broth? Yeah, kind of. You take a spoon, you drink some broth. Those onions will find their way in there. For people who like them, that's just fine. For people who hate them, I hate onions. Hate them. Always sneaking in from the side, getting in the way of a good-tasting spoonful. Well, that's what he was. An onion. Onion boy. That's what I called him. So, you weren't exactly friends. Gah, me and pal Maractus. Ever since preschool, we were getting in each other's face. No matter what I did, sure enough, he'd come following along. Then he'd do it better than me. Just blow right past me without so much as a howdy. I see. That's right, I was a surgeon long before he was, you know. Then that no-good onion boy comes along. Well, Trucy, looks like we found ourselves a new suspect. Don't say that. Thanks to him, I was forced to trade in my scalpel for a ladle. Sorry, pal. Didn't mean to weigh you down with an old man's ramblings. No, it's fine. By way of apology, you ever get yourself in a spot of trouble, you drop by. Huh? You're investigating Maractus, aren't you? Yes. Well, if you want to know about a doctor, you ask a doctor. That's all I'm saying. You just think of me if you need something, Druzy doll. Alright. Thanks, Mr. Eldoon. I guess the time spent listening to him complain wasn't entirely wasted. Well, we've got to check out this clinic, that's for sure. Yeah, but what about the guard? No harm in asking. Excuse me? Hey, it's you two from yesterday. That's the same officer that was standing out by the park yesterday. Your business is over in the park, isn't it? The clinic's off limits, and it's not involved. But... What part of off limits do you not understand? Show me proof that the clinic is somehow connected to the incident in the park, or beat it. No harm in asking, no gain either. No point in sticking around here, I guess. And this is where we get to go, grab the shoes. I guess the shoes aren't entirely a time waster, because you wouldn't want to have them in the trial if they have no relevance. Ah, yipes, she's back. What voice did I give her? Okay, well, I guess it's time to pick a new voice for her. Hey, nope. Nope, don't do that. I'm gonna start laughing if I do that. Hey, I think I gave her, like, just old lady voice. Hey, you two, over here. Us? Yeah, little Plum, what's up? I think all the gangsterism's negative influence on Trucy. I heard you retrieved my bloomers. Well, I was just doing... Bah! A man speaks clearly and takes credit where it's due. You caught the thief, didn't you? Yes, sorry, I got him. You're cute when you're nervous, Polly. I'll deal with you later. But enough about bloomers. What about my son, Waki? Waki? Well, he's... clearly! Yes, ma'am. This is why I was kind of hoping we could avoid coming back here. Right, giving them back to her? I feel like I should be able to. About these. Hey, my bloomers, thanks for that. I owe you one. I thought you might like them back, so... Oh, no. Why don't you keep them as a souvenir? Oh, no, I couldn't, really. Thanks for the offer, but I could use those in my magic panties act. I'll pull out shims and pieces and godfathers out of them. That was a terrible delivery on my part for a pretty good line from Trucy. Great, now your props for going from bland to dangerous. Alright, no need to worry about that. Let's talk a bit. He's really everything you'd expect in a boss's son. I'm gonna be a gangster dude. The life does have an appeal for that age, particularly for boys. What? Don't look at me like that. He was shot in a turf war about half a year ago. Yes, we heard the story from Rocky. But he didn't tell you the whole story. You know, even if he had a pistol then, he couldn't have shot anyone. What? He acts like he's hard, but he couldn't shoot at someone to save his life. I should know. I'm his mom. Her words do have a certain weight to them. Hopefully, when this is all taken care of, he and the boss can sort out their differences. The boss? You mean Waki's father? They didn't seem to be on the best terms, did they? It's true. One of our pistols is missing. So the murder weapon was from this mansion. We kind of figured, given the difficulty of attaining a gun these days. None of that rank and file have access. Only the boss, myself, and Waki could have taken it. I see. I am sure the cops will continue tromping all over the mansion because of this case. Maybe this is a sign that it's time for change. Ha ha ha! I forgot I was going to give her a mysterious, like, quiet laugh instead of a big one. She doesn't seem to be concerned, at least. Yeah. Yes, Waki's fiancé. They're apparently getting married next month, correct? I suppose. She's been staying over lately. You don't look all too happy about that, little plum. How'd you guess? Even I could tell that. Could you tell us more about her? Waki brought her home one day. Says he wants to tie the knot. I can see why. She's so pretty. Oh, she's pretty enough, but you know... Nah, it's probably just me being suspicious, staying in the business too long, and you start to only see the darkness in people. You get a nose for it. A nose for people, a nose for trouble. I wonder what the problem is. Like a gangster's only version of female intuition. The boss may act tough, but that boy means the world to him. But Waki seems... well... it seems like he's against his father's position. It's to be expected. We're in a bit of a transition right now. Trying to cut our ties to the shadier side of the street and do more on the up and up. Waki isn't too enthusiastic about the change, it's true. But why the change? Is the gangster thing just not paying the bills? I can't help but do a big laugh at that one. It pays, but we need a lot of money right now. Clean money, that is. I see. Something must be up. You'll see things the way the boss sees them someday. Let's see, anything important? Can you tell me if this knife belongs to Waki? Oh, that's his knife, all right. Bought it for him for his birthday. Wow, that's a pretty hardcore present. I remember him falling asleep with it. It's clutched in his arms. Ooh, I know the feeling. I'll bet he was just as happy as I was with my plastic spaghetti. So, this pistol belongs to the Kitake family, is that correct? It's one of the pieces we keep around. That is, we used to keep around. They're all gone now. Oh? Police came yesterday and took everything. Everything but my broom. Don't you think you should have given them that too? You kidding? Can't clean up very well without a broom. Oh, and she has nothing to say about the checkup report. Alright. I think we're done with Plum for now. So, let's head to the park. Or at least over here and grab the slippers. The trash can. This is where we found the mirror. Come to think of it, wasn't there something else in here? Something near the bottom. Look at the paint on these. That means these must have ended up in here after Mr. White's accident. Maybe they're connected. Let's pick them up. Oh, of course, now we can hold 2 items, of course. Well, let's head back over to the clinic. The front entrance to the miraculous clinic. Oh wait, how do I interact with the cop again? Do I click on the cop part? No. Do I try to move in? No. How do I try to move in? In the garage, perhaps? No. Okay, I guess I just can't go in, even if I have the slippers. Alright. To the people park then. Maybe Sky is there. Nope, no Sky. Oh, maybe I can show her the slippers. Nope. Oh, I show the slippers to Eldoon? That seems rather random. Nope. How about the checkup report? Nope. Can I present the empty space? Nope. I don't think he's gonna have anything to say. Oh. Let's see. Perhaps the detention center ready? Ah, yes, it's ready. Or maybe just the guy is gone. I was hoping to meet with my client. Walkie-talkie's just finished questioning. I'll bring him out. Ah, there we go. Great, finally. Yo, sup, my little imposter. What did you call me? Sam, it's you? Sorry, G. I thought you were Alita. My little imposter sure is a strange nickname. It's a Clink thing. You wouldn't understand. You know? I'm having a hard time keeping a straight face at that. Because these days, I would not bat an eye at someone being called a little imposter. Okay, no, stop it. Don't laugh. Don't do that. Just read. Did I say imposter? I meant poster, like poster girl. You're going to drop part of it. Why not drop poster and just call her girl? Because she's so much more than that, G. She's like an angel, fallen angel. So, what can I do for you? You don't look so chipper today, Woggy. Worried about your, heart condition, maybe? That was the wackest thing of all. All as she is lining up, taking eye exams and all that. Better to die young than fade away, Bizoy. A relief to hear. What's a relief? Oh, did your father not tell you? That bullet you carry so close to your heart, if not attended to immediately, it could kill you. Man, I ain't trying to hear that. A man fights to protect what's valuable to him, you know what I'm saying? I miss my fallen angel. Hey, you go get Alita for me. You're my lawyer, aren't you? Lawyer, not gopher. So, I hear you're to be married next month? Straight up, we poured the... I can't say I know this word. Nuptial 40 out on the stoop. Alita, oh, Snapple Cakes, she's so fine. I think he's a bit smitten with her in his own weird way. I was wondering, how did you two meet? I asked Yala, but she was very vague. Huh? Well, man, if she wouldn't tell you, I'd best hold my tongue, you feel me? What? Man, the past is past. She knows that. When I'm with Alita, I feel like there's things worth protecting out there, you feel me? And my Alita, she's down with that all the way. So both of them are mum about their past. Do you think you could tell us what happened with you and Pal Maractus? There's something you should know. We Kitakis are having what you might call a feud with the Rivals family. So about 6 months back, I go into the rival's turf, packing a knife, right? And you were shot? Coldest thing I ever seen. One shot to the heart, but my homies weren't too late. It's a miracle that I lived. It's already considered one of the 7 wonders of the Kitaki family, you know that? So, you were taken to the miraculous clinic then? You should have seen their faces when they wheeled me in. You can't just let the boss's son die, you know? I'd hate to have been in the doctor's shoes. Mr. Kitaki's scary enough when he's not angry. But the bullet that hit you, it was never removed? And it's still threatening his life. That doctor, he did it on purpose. The rival's family paid him off, I'm sure of it. I need to hear more about the night of the murder, that much is clear. Life in the family's a G thing, it's about being a man. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, I'm not up on my G things, I'm not even sure what a G thing is. But my old man, he's gone soft. He says the old rival gang days are over. He just wants to make money. Isn't that a good thing? Man, there ain't no soul in me making money. Better to live fast and die young, for shizzle. Wait till I run the yard, then everyone will know what time it is. That's right, OG time, all the time, represent. Apollo, why does he keep talking about the old guys? I don't think that's what OG means, Trucy. Let's see. Let's start with the knife. About these weapons. The pistol and the knife. Oh, running them both at once. They belong to the family. I snuck them out that night. So the killer, Mr. Stickler, says he saw the... Oh, so the killer, Mr. Stickler, says he saw that night was... I guess it was me. I was there after all. We're finished. Yo, Waki. Do you think you could tell us exactly what happened that night? Heh. You don't beat around the bush, do you? I like your style, shorty. Oh, new dialogue already. Actually, there's a question I've been wanting to ask you for a while now. That is, did you do it? Did you shoot him? I don't know. The day of that checkup, when I found out about the bullet in my heart, I borrowed a gun from the family stash. Figured I'd give that doctor a taste of his own bad medicine. Uh-oh, I don't like this, where this is going. But you were carrying a knife, weren't you? Oh, that? Yeah, well, never can be too careful, I say. So on my way to the clinic, right? When I run into him in the park, and he's dragging this noodle stand behind him. Wait, you didn't put him up to that? Like, you know, in the movies? If you value your life, you'll bring the stand. Shorty, you're more whack than I am, and that's saying something. But I was serious. The thing is, I don't remember what happened next all too well. You don't remember? But the way I see it, if there wasn't anyone else that night, then I guess it probably was me who did him in. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I just realized we can't present people. I didn't... That's odd. Okay. Yeah, okay, nope, nothing to say about that. Okay, this is the same. Oh, no, hold on, this is new. Let's see. Oh, no, this is not new. It didn't show up Stickler before. Or maybe it did, I just didn't notice. How odd. Okay, I think we're done with the Kitaki for now. We will come back probably when we have more evidence. For now, I think we should give El Dunes another go. See if I can get in there. No, I don't think that's gonna happen. Alright. Back to the mansion. We'll check out People Park one more time. Look at that crowd over by the park. Probably people trying to get a glimpse of the crime scene. But why are those girls screaming? I think I just heard one of them say, "Oh my god, it's him!" Wait, that motorcycle. Ah, if it isn't Half Forehead. Prosecutor Gavin. Some fans found me on my way out. Just my luck. Oh my god, he's so cool! Thus screams. New album just came out, you know? Try waving to them, they love it. Oh, he's so cute! Haha, they're so excited, it doesn't matter who waves to them, see? This is surreal. So you were here investigating? And I was on my way home when my hog gave up the ghost. But that's a pretty whack statement, my guy. Is there anyone who talks like that anymore? I don't think so. Your hog? My motorcycle won't start. A clogged exhaust pipe. Too bad. It looks like such a nice bike, too. Hard to believe that it could break just from that. Ah, it's my fault. I think I was using the wrong oil. Cars, motorbikes, they're all the same. Clog the exhaust and they won't run. Ah, machines, tell me you share my angst at her forehead. I ride a bicycle, actually. Ah. In any event, I'm off to the shop to get her fixed. The detective in charge of the scene isn't fond of me, in any case. The detective? You mean the one in the lab coat? Yeah, she's in a foul mood, too. Be gentle. Off we descend, baby. Oh my god, there he goes! Oh, why is it fading to black? Oh, it needs to remove the motorcycle. Okay. And the forecast for the park today? Gloomy skies. Well, nothing to do but head on in. Let's hit the park, Apollo. Oh, I just remembered what this is. It's more tutorial, I believe. Oh, yep, I see the footprint. It's tutorial time. Alright. Or maybe it's not a tutorial. Maybe it's just a one-off thing. Because I don't remember this... I don't remember much of the game past this trial. So maybe this is just a one-off thing. I hope it is. Huh? Something about the scene seem a little different to you? The blue tarps are gone. Maybe that's it. Yeah, I think you're right. Look over there. The white-frocked detective from yesterday. She seems to be apologizing reverently to the trash can. She's, under a lot of stress. The investigation's probably not going so well. Oh, what voice did I give her? Hey, you there! If you're going to talk about someone behind their back, do it more quietly, please. Oh, Detective Sky. Hello. You seem as gloomy as ever. This is miserable. I just got a new kit and I can't get this stuff to work. And everyone's all smiles for that glamorous fop. Glamorous? Does she mean Prosecutor Gavin? More to the point, doesn't she mean glamorous? When he walks, his shiny chains catch the sun and glimmer in my eyes. It's distracting. Of course, she's stealing my opportunity to munch in you guys' ear. That's fine. I'll save it for the gulps. Speaking of distracting, I guess I'd have to accept the fact that I lack talent. Sounds like she's trying out some sort of new forensics technique. Oh, wrong button. Sock first. Detective Sky, you know Mr. Wright, correct? How do you know my daddy? I want details. Well, he helped me out a long time ago. You might say he saved me. Wasn't she saying something about getting involved in an incident? I can't stand it when things are vague, especially in a case. I want to study to become a forensic scientist in Europe. But you're a detective now? Well, I failed the test. But, you know, rank and title don't matter. What matters is what's inside your heart. I've always thought that too. Oh man, my voice is not like that. I'm gonna get a drink of water before I keep reading. And my heart is full of science. That's why I bought this kit through mail order. And I'm going to test it here before the forensics team arrive. Are you sure that's okay? Most certainly not, but it's fine. She'll just get her pay cut like Gumshoe. I don't lie, I'm not fond of the man. Those glamorous types always rub me the wrong way. Glamorous? Right. A prosecutor should be cool of wit and furrowed of brow. Less glimmerous and more simmerous, you know? No, actually, I don't. Well, that and what happened 7 years ago. Prosecutor Gavin was the one who stripped Mr. Wright of his attorney's badge. What, really? He was the one? You mean you didn't know? I thought you were one of his boys. I'm neither a boy nor one of his, but let's see what he has. Let's see what she has to say. What exactly happened 7 years ago? I never actually heard the details. Then investigate. It's better you learned it for yourself anyway. Do you mind me asking exactly what it is you've been doing? Squatting down on the ground like that? Oh, you want to know? Do you? Well, I splurged on a new toy. You splurged? You mean it wasn't police issue? What is this? I see a roller and glue? This is a footprint analysis kit. Footprint? It was raining on the night of the murder, which means that footprints were left. Oh, does that have any... Oh, does that have anything to do with those blue tarps? Right. The ground was muddy, so I had to protect it as it was that night. Ever wanted to know exactly where someone was standing? Like your panty-snatching student witness, for instance? Aha! So with that kit... Right! What? Wanna try this stuff out? Huh? Are you sure? I mean, we're sort of on opposing teams and all. Oh, Shaw. We're friends. And, to tell the truth, I'm not so good at doing this. Guess I'm a little clumsy. I could use your help. Ooh, I'm good at stuff like this. I used to make magic bunnies out of paper mache. Footprint analysis, huh? Well, should I give it a go? This seems like a tutorial to me, so I am assuming we do have to do this in the future chapters, and I simply do not remember. Okay, I'll give it a go. That's the spirit. Right. Allow me to explain. One moment. She's reading the instructions for her kit. Why does this not fill me with confidence? First, we have to pick the footprint, or in this case, shoe print we want to analyze. I've taken the liberty of marking the shoe prints in the park. Well, which shoe print should we start with? If we're going to verify the defendant's account, here's the place to start. Shoe prints, prepare to be examined. Oh, this is exciting! Right, here goes. First, pour the plaster into the print until it's full. You should try it. How am I supposed to do that? Just press A when you want to where you want to pour the plaster. Like this. That doesn't look too hard. If you run out of plaster in your beaker before you're done, you have to start over. Not bad. You're handier with that than you look. What's that supposed to mean? On to the next step. Dry the plaster until it turns white. Right. Just press A to blast it with the dryer. There, give it a shot. Man, this is slow. Oh, you don't have to do the whole thing. Okay. Look, looks like it's hardened nicely. Let's take a look. Yes, that's a good one. Next, the ink. Ready for the next step? Use the roller to ink the shoe. To ink just the shoe print part. Hold onto that roller tight now with A and roll it up and down. Keep going till you get enough ink on there for a good print. Right, now to the moment you've all been waiting for. Let's take our print. Ready? Here goes. Let's see if we get a match. What's with the big blurb on the bottom of his foot? Does he have like gum stuck on it or something? So the shoe prints belong to Wakikitaki after all. He was in the park on the night of the crime. Wow, I can almost see the science at work. Don't you love it? Ah, nothing feels better. She's definitely way more into this than I am. Just let me know if you want to do some more. I'll be here solving the case with science. Well, that's certainly brightened her mood. Well, I think we had to do one more. Detective Sky, mind if we give it another go? Right on, leave no print unanalyzed, I say. Now, to pick which print you want to analyze. Okay, looking good. Next, to dry the plaster. I'm not going to read that. It's going to be the same thing every time, isn't it? Yep. Inking time. I think it should be quite obvious what this is by now, in case you guys can't tell. Of course, what's not obvious is who it belongs to. Huh, that's a funny shoe print. Is that even a shoe? It is strange. So smooth. Except for the part with the leaf. I can say without even looking that this print doesn't match any print on our list. A mystery print. Can I present her the slippers? They say the Maractus Clinic. Hey! What? The slipper. Look right here, I think I see a toe mark. A toe mark? You think we can get a print off that? Sure, the toes have prints just like fingers do, you know. This little clue might be a gold mine. Oh, there's one problem. The police station doesn't keep a record of toe prints. So we won't know whose it is. I guess that would be too much to hope for. Still, it might be useful somehow. Let's analyze it. Do I have to do that by talking, or... There we go. Oh, that's the wrong button. Yes? Oh, I skipped dialogue, didn't I? Still, you have to wonder what it's doing there. It's right next to Eldune's noodle stand. It does make one wonder. Hey, you. Yes? Why are you so quiet all of a sudden? You wouldn't happen to have something in mind? Something that might have left this mystery shoe prints? This mystery shoe print does remind me of something. I'm pretty sure I've seen something that would have left a print like this. You know, I think I have our culprit right here. I did not expect this line of dialogue to happen when I press this. Well, I think it's these slippers, actually. Slippers? What would slippers be doing out here? But look at the bottom, see? It's covered with paint, except for... See, right here? Hey, that spot is shaped like a leaf. What if the leaf was stuck on the bottom and came off when the slipper stepped in paint? Oh wait, is that Apollo's line? Oh yeah, it was. Makes sense, doesn't it? Wait, something's written on them. The Maractus Clinic. Exactly. The victim's clinic. And wait, that means that someone from the clinic was involved? Why is she just standing there eating? Detective Sky, I have a favor to ask. What? Can you get us access into the Maractus Clinic? The police won't let us in. They say the murder and the clinic are not connected. And it's off limits until we prove they are. I should be able to do something for you, yes. Really? Well, you did do my work for me with these shoe prints. Seems like I should return the favor. Thank you, Detective Sky. Man, I feel like I'm really slipping out of Trucy's voice. Here, show this to the police officer on duty. Oh, new song. Also, that is not official. Right, Maractus Clinic, here comes justice. Let's take a look at that. Oh, wrong button. Here we are. Okay, yeah. Very unofficial. Also, the Blue Badger. It's finally been made the official mascot. Good job for the police chief. Now here's a question. Can I actually take a print of this? Oh man, I did not notice that before. I wonder, could this be a print? Why would there be a finger? Oh, you mean a toe print. Good call, Apollo. I bet we can analyze it just like a regular print. That's gonna be a final piece of evidence. Here we go. Smash A while jamming out. Hey, it worked. That looks like a big toe, maybe? Wow, I feel like the case is solved already. What was next? We have to match the print, right? Right, let's match it. Wait. The detective didn't give us a list of toe prints, Apollo. Oh, good point. Maybe we should ask her. Get some expert advice. I guess so. I'm not sure she really qualifies as an expert, though. Well, at least we dusted it now. Do I have anything to say? No. Okay. Well, it's time to move on. Well, this is... Yeah, we can check out the print. Poor Mr. Eldoon has been standing here since the whole thing started. It almost looks like a home here in the park now. I think it should be made into a playhouse for children. I think that its owner would disagree. I clicked on the stand, it would say by accident. The tarps that were here yesterday are gone. I wonder why Detective Sky put them out. Okay, we don't need to look at this. We already know why. It's time to move over to Eldoon. Ah, the music's gone. How unfortunate. I suppose I'll just have to serenade you all with my voice. Ah, it's you two again. When, oh when will you learn? Look at me however you want. You're not getting in today. I wouldn't be so sure if I were you. Look what we have. What's this? Detective Sky. Yesterday was Prosecutor Gavin, today it's Detective Sky. Who are you two, really? Now he's suspicious again. Well, you got the orders. I gotta let you in. Have fun. Thanks, Mr. Officer. Let's hit it, Apollo. I believe this is the final area for us to investigate. Huh, kind of an at-home sort of place, isn't it? This place has a connection to the murder in the park. I'm sure of it. The police guy out front wasn't so sure. Beyond it being where the victim lived. Looks like the police's team gone home for the day. There might be some clues lying around. Let's get cracking, Apollo. Well, obviously we have, two pretty big ones right here. 3, actually. Missing slippers. Let's start with that. These must be the slippers for patients at the clinic. The same as the pair we found, of course. Look, a single pair is missing from the rack here, too. And ours have paint on the bottoms, which means that they were taken out of here on the night of the murder. Right. The paint's from the hit and run, after all. But what were a pair of clinic slippers doing in that trash can? And what were they doing at the scene of the hit and run? There's a single pair of sandals here. Sandals? Excuse me? That's what you call those? No, those are not sandals. Look at those things. Wait, but why would there be sandals here? Unless they belong to one of the patients. Or maybe it's a visitor that's come to see Dr. Maractus. You'd think they use his house entrance instead of the clinic entrance in that case. And if this patient or visitor isn't still here, why'd they leave without their shoes? Better take a closer look at these then, just in case. I feel like I messed up the voicing there. I feel like I'm slipping out of it today. Look at all these bowls. They're from Eldoon's Noodles. Look, there's Mr. Salty. I feel like I'm not even doing Apollo right. Then I think we figured something out. I think we have. Mr. Eldoon must do takeout. Not exactly what I was thinking. All the bowls have been washed clean. I think we found our first clue, Trucy. Let's check those new things we got. Sandals, yes. Nothing on the bot. Ah, toe print. How convenient. Hey, Apollo, you think this is... Huh, this could be a toe print. Maybe we can get a print off of this. Let's try it out. And now we get to jam out to the music again. I didn't even notice it was back until just now. Hey, it worked. That looks like a big toe, maybe? But wait, I mean, it's great that we got the print, but is there such a thing as a list of toe prints? It's the same dialogue almost. Why? Okay. Well, that's fine. I'll just, move to the back room. No, I can't move to the back room. Unless I examine it, I suppose. We can do that, though. Look, this door says doctor's office. Think this is where the victim's private... Think this is the victim's private office? It's not locked. Too bad. Why too bad? I like opening locks. It's a kind of a hobby of mine. Like those little bike locks? Don't even bother putting them on when I'm around. That's probably not a hobby you want to tell too many people about. Apollo, that sound! It came from behind this door. Someone's in there. Let's check it out. Oh, let's check it out, Trucy. A break-in! They left through that window. Wait, Apollo, you're too late to catch them now. That must be her experience as a panty snatcher chaser talking. Man, I'm really fumbling these lines, eh? Well, we should tell the police. Let's check the room out first, Apollo. If we call the police now, we'll lose our chance. You're right. She's better at this than I am. Well, one thing's for certain. This clinic and our murder case are looking pretty related now. Okay, what do we want to check? The lamp is in a pretty odd spot, so we'll check that. Kind of an expensive looking lamp, isn't it? Hey, the bulb's broken. Broken? Don't you mean burned out? No, our cat burglar must have dropped it. But why is it standing up on the floor like that then? Hey, look at the cord. Huh? There's a red splotch on part of it. The cord. You think that's blood? It's a little bright for blood, almost pinkish. Something definitely odd about that lamp, that's for sure. Let's take a look at that. Oh yeah, look at that. How do I zoom in? There we go. Yeah, that's a bit... That's not really pinkish, but it is definitely bright. And the bulb is certainly broken. Oh, not wrong button. Let's see. Spilled glass. Books and papers are scattered around the room. Wow, what a mess. This is worse than Daddy's room. The burglar must have left in a hurry. Even the cup on the desk here is lying on its side. Huh? The juice that spilled out of the cup. It's dry. So the messy one wasn't our burglar just now? Someone knocked this cup over a while ago and left it. This potted plant has seen better days. That doesn't make sense either. What doesn't? Normally burglars are looking for valuables, right? That's true. That's what I would do if I were a burglar. So why look under a potted plant? Maybe they were looking for the key to the safe. I've heard of people putting their house keys under plants, but the keys to a safe? And maybe the burglar was looking for the house keys. This is getting nowhere fast. Whoa, what are those? The wall's covered with beakers. Eek! Something's moving around inside that one. You look, Apollo. Hey, look yourself, you can't... Oh. It's a goldfish. Wow, they're all fish. So many kinds. Whoever designed this had a sick sense of humor. I think the only thing left to check is, oh, the window and the safe. Okay. The window is ajar. Is it really ajar? It looks broken to me. It doesn't seem like a window that can open outwards either. That must be how our burglar escaped. I wonder who it was. Maybe it was just a burglar who happened to pick here? Yeah, but there's a patrol car sitting out front. If I were a burglar, I'd come back the next day at least. I'd give it a month myself. Whoever broke in obviously needed to break in today. What a cute little safe. Looks like a 4-digit lock. Someone's already entered 2 numbers, Apollo. 7, 9... Wait, do you think that burglar just now was trying to open it? I don't wonder what's inside this safe. Is there any way we can figure out the last 2 numbers? Oh, we know the first 2 are 7 and 9. Maybe there's something in the court record. Something that can help us figure out the last 2 numbers. I wonder. Let's take a look. Bum 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 bum. No, I certainly do not have anything. That would be a bit too lucky, don't you think? Well, I suppose. If only there was something that could finger which buttons had been pressed. Something that would finger which buttons had been pressed, huh? Oh, I guess we do have that. Maybe there is a way after all. Okay, well, that was a pretty obvious hint, but I am very thankful for it because I would not have thought of that. So let's go ahead and dust it for prints. Well, I have an idea. I knew it, Paulo. What is it? Well, all we have to know is what buttons have been pressed. We can use this to find out what the next 2 numbers are. Also, they could have just brute forced it if they have 2 digits already in. When you press the buttons, you'd have to touch them with your finger, right? It'll leave a print. When you open a safe, you don't press any other buttons but the right ones, right? So if we can find the buttons with the fingerprints, we'll have the safe code. Not bad, Apollo. Oh, wrong button. How long is it going to make me blow on it for? Oh, did I not, like, press it enough or something? Okay, we'll put more powder on. There we go. Look, you can see the oily finger residues clearly. Look at 7 and 9. These are glove marks, but the burglar must have been wearing gloves. Well, we might not be able to identify the burglar, but we can open the safe. Let's give it a shot. Also, I want to see if I don't think I can get a clearer print than that, so it's very unfortunate, but let's see. Is it just 2-5? Nope. There we go. It opened. Wow, there's a pretty big hint right here. This looks like a bullet hole. In fact, it looks like there's still a bullet in it. You can still see the bullet sticking out of it. Oh, that's what I just said. Why is it in the middle of a safe? Hey, the bullet came out. This tip is all squished. Not surprising, given that it was fired into a metal safe. This bullet's got a story behind it, that's for sure. This looks like a medical chart. There's an x-ray in here with it. An x-ray? Can't make heads or tails of it. And I can't read the chart either, it's all in medical speak. But the names are easy enough to read. Look! by patient. It says Walkie-Talkie. So this is Walkie, our client's chart, huh? Why would this one chart be in here in the safe? Let's see, the physician's signature says Pal Maractus. What is it, Paulo? Look here where it says who filed the chart. Let's see. Nurse Alita Tiala. Oh, let's see. Nurse Alita Tiala. Alita Tiala is Walkie's fiancée. That's one Ida too many, Paulo. Never mind that. What's her name doing here? Wait, did he mispronounce it and I just read over it? Oh, I did. Look at that. How should I know? Though, I guess it means she's on staff at this clinic. Odd that she neglected to mention this before now. I'm sure she had her reasons. So, Alita Tiala worked at the Maractus clinic, and she had access to Walkie-Talkie's medical charts. You got the I and Y wrong, Apollo. What? Did he? I feel like I'm going insane. He didn't even say anything out loud. I'd be very interested to find out what this chart says. Who could help us decipher this? Let's give it a look. It does not actually let me look at it myself. Unfortunate. Let's see. Yeah, no, nothing special about it. I don't know why he doesn't understand. But I guess we still have to go talk to Eldoon now. No, he's not here. Huh. Was there something I forgot to investigate, perhaps? Perhaps. We'll head in one more time. No, nothing left. Huh. I don't see anything in this room that needs to be inspected. Where are all the people at? Let's see. Is Emma still here? I know that face. That's the face of someone who's made a discovery. Hey, how did you know? You can't fool someone trained in the ways of science. Next you'll have us analyzing face prints. Let's ask Detective Sky to help us, Apollo. Okay, I was about to comment on how weird the lack of music was. I guess I just needed to finish the opening dialogue first. Let's see. Am I sure where the sandals? Will she be the one to match it to the, what's it called? The slippers? Let's see. Oh, I accidentally presented the lamp instead. Say, could you take a look at this lamp? The bulb's broken. Right. Strange, isn't it? Really? I break bulbs all the time. My desk is a mess and my lamp is always falling over. Not too bright, huh? Ouch. I still think it's kind of odd. These sandals. That's quite a clear print there. A toe print. Too bad we don't know whose toe it is. Well, there is a way of finding out, of course. There is? What? All you need is a sample of the same toe print, off another shoe, for instance. Oh, right, so the prints matched. You know the same person wore both. Do I have another shoe worn by the same person? I think I just might, actually. Really? I'm beginning to suspect something here. Detective Sky, can you compare this sample with this other print? This pair of slippers, toe print and all. Ooh, the print on these is nice and clear too. That makes our job easy. Can you analyze it for us? Of course. Hang on. Bingo! Gosh, I'm good. Hey, we were the ones that found the prints. A perfect match. The same person wore these sandals and slippers. I was afraid of that. All you have to do is find out who these sandals belong to. Or do you already know? I can't say. Not yet. Well, that's one big step closer to the truth. Yeah, the truth. Detective Sky, I was wondering about this. Trucy. Trucy, wait. What? This bullet was inside the safe, right? That means the police don't know about it yet. Oh, right. We can use this in the trial tomorrow. Do I have to repeat myself every time? If you're going to talk behind someone's back, do it quietly. Oh, is this going to be the same dialogue? It is, okay. Let's see. I think Eldoon should probably show up now. I don't have anything else to do. Really? Still not here? Okay, what could be next? I'd say talking to Waki. Unless he's gone, of course. Well, the time of the decision is upon us. Which one of our two jailbirds do we want to talk to? Excuse me. Both detainees are currently in questioning to corroborate their accounts. Mr. Stickler and Waki? Both of them? I pity the questioner. I guess we'll be back then. Well, that's, unfortunate. Where do I go then? Mr. Wright definitely doesn't have anything to say, right? Ah, the prodigal attorney returns. Welcome, Apollo. I heard you did well in the trial today. Here to discuss something? I could use a little diversion. What did Detective Sky say? If you want to know something, you had to investigate it yourself. Mr. Wright, tell me what happened 7 years ago. Please. I want to know. I need to know. You certainly didn't waste any time getting to the point. Oh, okay. I guess we have to come here. 7 years ago, I was standing in a courtroom on behalf of a client. The case involved the death of a certain magnificent genius. I'd be surprised if you hadn't heard about it. It was all over the news, I remember that. You were up against Prosecutor Gavin, weren't you? Yes. He was only 17 years old at the time. 17 years old? That's still high school. He took the bar exam abroad in Europe. They're progressive over there, you know. I was defeated by a 17-year-old newcomer. In my shame, I left the practice forever. That's all. That's all? How could that be all? What do you mean? What about the way they were saying on the news that you about forged? What about what they were saying on the news about forged evidence? They say you forged evidence and had your attorney's badge stripped from you. Tell me, how does it feel? How does it feel to stand here before Phoenix Wright, the forging attorney himself? How does it feel? I don't want to believe it's true. But what about what happened in my first trial? Didn't you notice in today's trial? There's a single piece of forged evidence. I'm talking about evidence that shouldn't have existed. A naughty magician's trick. I don't see you jumping to my defense on this one. Maybe I did forge evidence. Maybe I didn't. It doesn't really matter now, does it? But I'm not an attorney anymore. That's the only truth you need to know. Mr. Wright. Looks like he doesn't want to talk about the accusations of forgery. For now. Alright, let's see. Now Mr. Eldoon should show up, right? No. Okay, who left do we have to check on? I don't know, does a Kitaki show up now? Because I've done a Wright's little dialogue? I wouldn't doubt it. Oh, yep, there we go. Don't cry, Angel. Daddy's back, and Daddy's... Oh, you again? Do you always have it... Okay. I'm mixing their voices together. Do you always have to announce your entrance like that? Man, my old man, Man. Now I'm all in a funk, and it's all his fault. One can only assume that his father tried to teach him a lesson and failed, clearly. You two got your work cut out for you, straight up. Because I don't care if they lock me up, I'm ready to go. Some days I wonder why I do what I do. Hey man, you won't see me bugging about one or two guilty charges. But what if you're found guilty of murder? Hey, it's all experience, you feel me, shorty? Like a badge of honor. They don't give the death penalty, do they? You didn't really do it, did you? Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. If I've learned one thing from today, it's that silence speaks louder than words. Man, my old man is whack. Disappointing, that's what he is. I heard he wants to leave the mob? Over my dead body? I would spend the rest of my life trying to keep it real. Being an OG and never stepping down. Now my old man wants to go soft? Fine, let him. Just leave me out of it. The day I get out of the clink, that's the day Alita and I start the next generation of the Kitaki family. Please don't talk as though it's assumed you're going to jail. For my sake. Let's see. I think the only thing of note to present to him is the sandals. Waki, you don't happen to recognize these, do you? Hey, sure I do. I was the one who bought them for her. For Miss Tiala? Yeah, birthday present. She's got mad little feet. Mad, so cute, man. So these sandals are hers. Yeah, I kinda had a feeling. What's up with the funky vibes? Let's see. How about the lamp? Anything to say about this? Nope. How about the bullet? Nope. And the chart. How about that? Huh, what's that? Some kind of x-ray? Wait. That's right, Waki, it's yours. Hey, look, I don't smoke or nothing. I'll live long, right? I don't think he gets it, Apollo. Take a closer look. Here, in particular. Where it says nurse. It's signed Alita Tiala. Huh. You lawyers do your homework. So, you met Miss Tiala when you... Yeah, I met her at the clinic. So? Could you tell us a bit about the circumstances of your meeting? Fine, fine. I'll tell you how we met if you want to know that bad. About half a year ago, I was shot during a little turf war with another family. Gotta keep reiterating this so you know I was shot half a year ago with a turf war with another family. I was ready to die, sure, but they came in and got me, hauled me off to the docks. The Maractus Clinic? That's where I met her. My fallen angel. You mean Alita Tiala? She was scared of me at first, turns out. But you know what they say, the bad guy always gets the ladies. Right. She was done with that clinic anyhow. So I was like, I'll take you on, woman. Straight gangster style. Guess what she said? What did she say? Come on, give it some thought. She said it real quiet like, on the download. Know what I'm saying? I'll leave if you marry me. So, that was the proposal? You know it, an oath of love, right there in the hospital room. Just like that, the op was done and we were out of there. See you later, bye. About that op. Yeah, it didn't go so well after all, did it? I know about the report. I know it's still in me. This health checkup was the boss's idea, you said? Yeah, can you imagine? What's the point of living healthy when you're a G, you know what I'm saying? But didn't you learn about the bullet about that checkup? Yeah. That's when I knew that doctor had to pay. Figured I could get that cap pulled after I got my revenge. And hey, I'm still living large now, aren't I? Incidentally, have you ever had a health checkup before? Nah, my old man suddenly gets this idea when we all gotta get checkups. Guess he's getting older, I mean. I don't think I have anything else to say to him right now. Well, that's about it. Alright, on my way now. Hopefully Eldoon has shown up. Because if not, I'm at a loss once again. Hey, he's here. Perfect. Mr. Eldoon, we've been looking all over for you. What's the matter, Jersey doll? Apollo, show him what we have found. Nothing like expert advice. I suppose he is a doctor still. Mr. Eldoon, is everything okay? I'm just so happy. I just thought that my doctor days were gone for good. Mr. Eldoon. I can't really do sniffs right now, in case you notice those pathetic attempts at it. My nose is quite stuffy. No, wrong button. Actually, does he have anything to say? Nope. Mr. Eldoon, could you take a look at this? A medical chart? Hey, you shouldn't go around taking these from clinics. Why the sudden silence, Mr. Eldoon? What? What's going on here? That's what we want to know. That chart belongs to my client. He's on trial on suspicion of murder. On trial? That's crazy. You can't put him on trial. He's ABD. ABD? All but dead. He's knocking on the pearly gates, and someone's about to answer. Can you tell us why? Well, permit me to speak as a surgeon. You listen up good now, son. No way, it's like he's a completely different person. Well, according to this chart, this walkie-talkie feller's not doing so well. He's got a bullet right side his heart. That's right. Yeah, but this chart talks about the post-op. In other words, the operation is already finished. But you can still see that bullet stuck in there. Why would it still be in there after the operation was to remove it? Well, about the only reason I can think of is it was too tricky to operate on. What? That bullet's snug as a bug there next to that that bullet's snug as a bug there next to the aorta, which is connected to the heart. Heck, that scrap of metal is just surrounded by blood vessels. Kind of a miracle. 2 millimeters to either side, and there'd be some serious bleeding going on in there. Not something your average doc would be eager to fiddle with. You mean it took a miracle to get that bullet stuck where it is, and it'd take more than a miracle to take it out. It'd take a magician. I'm only up to making rabbits disappear. I haven't learned bullets yet. Of course, with the heart pumping and lungs working, that bullet's on the move. I'd give him another half a year, tops. But Waki's operation was already half a year ago. That's why I'm saying you're out of time. This kid shouldn't be on trial, he should be on an operating table. Great. Just great. How could Dr. Maractus do such a terrible thing? How could he just leave that bullet in there? I got a pretty good idea of how he felt. An emergency operation. He's got the kid's chest open on the table. Then he finds that bullet. That's despair right there, Trucy doll. Cold despair. Despair? About the only thing he could do was sew the boy back up. He wasn't exactly in the situation to go admitting he couldn't take it out. Because Hockey's... You bet. This kid's their only son, I hear. So, he skips the operation and walks back on the street, living his life. Of course, it's only a matter of time before his heart hemorrhages and he drops cold. How awful. Which doctor would they take him to? Maractus. He's got enough ties to them, he could probably cover up the truth of what happened. That's just horrible. He left Waki to die. There's a darkness in this world, Trucy doll. Waiting. Hungry. Compared to it, these gangs' turf wars are like kids' games. When you're up against real evil, well, it doesn't matter if you're weak or strong. It'll take you all the same. You were a surgeon, right, Mr. Eldoon? You could operate around Waki, couldn't you? I wish. What? I'm afraid there ain't nobody in this country that could. Maybe not even in the world. So Waki... He's real lucky to be alive, even now. No. There's one problem. Apollo? This chart. Look at the nurse section. Alita Tiala. That's right. This operation was how they met. Yeah, the problem is she knew. She knew about Walkie's condition, guaranteed. Ah, why didn't she ever tell him? It doesn't make sense. If she knew her patient was in serious danger, you'd think she'd want to get that second operation before getting engaged. What was she thinking, Apollo? What were you thinking, Alita Tiala? And that's to be continued, but we're not quite done for the day. Not yet. But I am going to take a short break to go to the washroom. So, let's see, how do I... Hold on, yep, continue the next chapter, yes. And then we'll stop right here and take a break. Here we go. Break time, there we go. Perfect. I will return momentarily. And I am back. Okay, time to start this trial. Let's see if we can get it all done now. This is it, the big day. Did you get any sleep? Yeah, I went to bed at 1 a.m. or so. Oh, what time did you wake up? 3 a.m. That's only 2 hours, Apollo. But at least you have me. And the amazing Mr. Hat. Here's looking at you, kid. Good luck today, Apollo. That voice. Oh, that was... I thought it was going to be Emma. Hey, I get any sleep? Mr. Wright. I was going out of my mind with boredom, so I signed myself out earlier today. Somehow, that place makes fake piano playing at the Indochine pasta joint seem almost fun. Daddy, do you know who Prosecutor Gaffin's witness is today? Take a guess. How about Little Plum? That Sherman tank of a mom? Nope, guess again. That's too bad, you know. Speaking of moms, you need to find me a new mommy one of these days, Daddy. It's barely morning and you're already at it, Trucy. Okay, see, this is why I don't buy their father-daughter relationship. So, Mr. Wright, do you know who the prosecutor's witness is? Alida Tiala, your client's fiancée. She's going to be the witness? But that seems odd. Why would she testify against her own fiancé? You have to wonder what Gavin's up to. Something's going down today, that much is clear. Well, not to worry, I have got my panties back. If we can't find a killer, I'll pull one out of here. Or out of there. Court is now in session for the trial of Waki Kitaki. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Prosecution is warmed up, and it's a sold-out house. Very well. To recap, while yesterday's witness seemed more guilty than any other party, guilty of panty snatching, we did find out one thing for certain. There were 3 people in the park at the time of the murder: the witness, the victim, and the defendant. Correct, Herr Judge, and today I'd like to do something a little new age. I'd like to look at this horrible crime from the outside. The outside? The acquisition of the murder weapon, the preparation for the acts. Our poor defendant told all, you see. To his betrothed. His betrothed? His fiancée, Herr Judge. His partner for life, with no chance for parole. Very well, you may show the, lucky lady to the stand. Your name and occupation, Fräulein? Alida Tiala. My occupation? His future wife. Oh my god, that's a... I apologize for breaking character for a moment, but I just... in the chat right now is the cheapest bot I've ever seen. What do I mean by that, of course? I mean that it's not even giving me like a link or a website name or anything. It has all like the advertising bits you'd expect except for the name. It's just blanked out as though someone forgot to enter a name. Dang. Alright, well, let's ignore that and move on. Ah, traditional values. I respect that. Too many brides these days can't even weave baskets blindfolded, underwater. Yet you're here today as a witness for the prosecution? To be honest, I didn't want to testify at first, but I couldn't hide the truth. Honesty, another admirable trait. Fräulein, is it true that on the day of the crime, the defendant, Waki Kitaki, confessed his plans? His plans for murder? Yes. The witness will please give her testimony to the court. It was the day that the family health checkup results came back. When Waki found out that Dr. Maractus had lied, he flew into a rage. I'll teach him, he said. He took one of the family's pistols. And you already know what happened that night. I just don't see how anyone but Waki could have done it. Man, there's a lot of things on this that I could approach it. There's a lot of ways I could approach this, and I'm not sure which one to go with. So, the pistol did belong to the Kitaki family then? Yes, with regards to this, an investigation is underway at the Kitaki mansion on charges of the possession of illegal firearms. And the bullet that took the victim's life, was it fired from the pistol from the defendant procured? Yes, this has been proven. How can they prove something like that? Oh, don't give me the whole spiel again on ballistic markings. We had this so many times in the trilogy. Bullets carry marks from the barrel that fired them, called rifling marks. Rifling marks? Think of them as being a gun's fingerprints, left on every bullet it fires. And when did you first hear about Waki's plan? It was the day of the murder. I should have stopped him. I just didn't think he would actually do it. Very well. The defense may begin the cross-examination. Alright, let's see. How do we want to approach this? I don't really want to press everything, because that feels wrong. We'll press everything. Alright. I don't see much better option than that. That was the day of the murder, correct? Yes, everyone in the family received their checkup results that day. When Waki looked at his face went so pale. But of course, he had just found out he had a bullet in his chest. So you were there at the time? Yes. Poor Waki. That must have been, quite frightening. He was furious. He ripped his report into shreds. Incidentally, I had to request another copy to file as evidence. Bothersome, I'm sure, but one I performed without complaints. Waki's at an age where he's hard to control when he loses his temper. What are their ages, actually? I have not checked that. 21 and 19. Alright. Of course, that little bit of instability is so cute. Great, now he sounds like a psychopath. So is it easy to take a pistol out from the house? Not really, I think. There's a system in place to limit access. But Waki's a special case, being the next in line. Perhaps his treatment was a bit too special, yeah? Well, maybe he is a bit spoiled. I hear he got amazing presents for his birthdays. Last year was a switchblade made out of chewing gum and a chocolate gravestone. Sounds like he has a taste for sweets. And danger. The point here being that the Waki had access to a pistol. What happened, meaning the murder? I tried to stop him, I really did, but Waki wouldn't listen. Our defendant was nothing if not determined, it seems. The last thing you should do is blame yourself, miss. How can you say that for certain? How? Herr Forehead, you will refrain from badgering the Fräulein. It was the defendant, Waki, was it? Who took the pistol from his home. We know this for a fact now. I suppose we do. So, how could anyone else have used the pistol to shoot the victim? They could not. Simple logic, yeah? That does seem to be the case. Does the defense have anything to say regarding this point? Could someone else have used that pistol? Hold on. Most certainly, yes. Oh no, I hit the wrong button. I'm sure there was another person who could have used that pistol. I just can't think of who. Of course, he was the only one with access. Uh-oh, this is bad if I leave it like this. You may continue with the cross-examination. Okay, oh, I hit the wrong button on accident. Let's, skip through the dialogue until I get to that bit again. Bum 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 bum. Based on your testimony, there was clearly another. One other person had access to that pistol. What's this? Interesting. Let's ask the defendant then. Defense then. Tell the court who this other person with access was. Well, of course, I mean, you, Miss Tiala. Me? But why? You were quite clear when you told the court. You heard about the pistol from the defendant on the day of the murder. In other words, you knew he was planning. Let me get this straight. You intend to tell us that this lady stole the pistol from her fiancé? And killed the man in cold blood on his behalf? I've heard of people doing strange things for love, but this... It does seem a bit unfathomable, that to be sure. I'm all for romance and I'm for supporting your partner in life, to be sure, but I think I would hesitate at murder. I'd hope you do more than hesitate. But what if a different connection could be proven? A connection between a witness and the victim? We might find that she had a personal motive beyond wanting to help her fiancé. That would put things in a slightly different light. What possible connection are you suggesting here? You know what I'm starting to think? I'm starting to think that the police never looked inside that safe. I have evidence showing a connection between the witness, Miss Tiala, and the victim. That looks like a medical chart. Found inside a safe at the Maractus Clinic. I'd like to draw the court's attention to the names written on the chart. What? Miss Tiala, whatever. Why is your name on this chart? Well, care to explain the meaning of this, Miss Tiala? I'm not sure what you mean by meaning, Mr. Justice. Our warm little fiancé just froze over. I was on the staff at that clinic until half a year ago. It was boring, so I quit. That's all. Is there a problem with that? Miss Tiala, you testified that you had no connection to the victim. And I don't. Now. Now? I quit half a year ago, didn't I? So there's no connection. Let me guess, you're that kind of guy who can't rest until he knows every last detail of his girlfriend's past. Am I right? That's not true at all. Why, I embrace the ones I love. Past flaws and... There's no connection now. That doesn't fly in a court of law. Doesn't fly? She's one tough nut. She probably feels right at home with the Kitakis. You left your job at the Maractus Clinic, true, but you remain connected somehow. Very well, Mr. Justice. Show us evidence that proves the witness is still connected to the Maractus Clinic. Are we going with the slippers here? Probably, yeah. These sandals were found in the Maractus Clinic lobby. They're yours, aren't they? Well, who knows? I'm sure there's a lot of people with those sandals. So sorry, Fräulein, but your act isn't working. Your moment of hesitation just now cost you. What's with you? I thought you were on my side. Perhaps you are unaware that toes leave toe prints. A simple analysis of these sandals will reveal all. Well, now we see your true colors. I was wrong to cooperate with you from the beginning. I just wanted you to help get Walkie back on the straight and narrow. The court thinks you need to worry less about Walkie and more about yourself. It sounds as though we need to hear a bit more about your story. Your sandals were found in the entrance to the clinic, which means you were there on the day of the murder. Well, there's little point in denying it. Very well, the witness will tell us about this visit. Why did you go to the Maractus Clinic that day? I did go to the clinic that day, my first time in half a year since I quit in January. I went to warn him. After all, I knew Walkie had the pistol. The doctor always was a timid man, too timid to admit his own mistake. Why else would I have gone? I'm not hiding any dark secrets. I wanted to tell him to be careful, as an old friend. Well, this is a pretty easy one. By mistake, you mean the mistake we heard about from the defendant? The botched operation? He was a timid, small man, but I never wished him any harm. I just thought I should let him know, you know? That does make sense. Yes, but there is still one thing which does not. What's that, Prosecutor Gavin? The sandals left in the lobby, of course. We can assume she wore these sandals to the clinic, yeah? Then why did she not wear them home? If it were me, I would have worn them home. I would have worn those sandals home too. So why were the sandals left behind? He pointed out the contradiction before me. There's probably a good explanation for this, right, Miss Tiala? Say, for instance, there happened to be a similar pair of sandals there which you wore home by mistake. Actually, that's right. I'm impressed, Mr. Gavin. Oh, it is nothing. There is, after all, no other possible explanation, yeah, Forehead? Oh, what the? No fair! He's filling in the holes in her testimony. The defense may begin the cross-examination. Okay, well, this is a pretty easy one. No dark secrets, eh? What? Look at me however you want, Mr. Justice. You won't find a thing. She's hiding something, I know it. I must have some evidence that proves it, too. You're free to think whatever you like. I went to that clinic with only one thought in mind. Do I just present the chart again? I think so. Yeah. This chart was found inside a safe at the doctor's room, in the doctor's office. Yes? Why would this one chart be in that safe? Miss Tiala, you know why it was, don't you? Mind filling me in? Dr. Maractus didn't have the leisure of making mistakes. That's why he wrote up a false report and kept the truth locked away. Bad, Herr Doctor. And this is where you come in, Miss Tiala. The nurse who filed this chart was you, which means you knew about Waki's failed operation. Interesting. You were in the same position as Dr. Maractus. Kind of makes it hard to claim no connection, doesn't it? You are bold for a novice, I'll give you that. Mr. Justice, you must know I was only a nurse. The doctor is responsible for the chart's contents. This chart business seems to be quite important. Please amend your testimony accordingly. Too bad, little attorney. Already? Huh. My bracelet's reacting again. What is it, Apollo? I felt my bracelet tighten just now. Your bracelet? Just like yesterday, like you said. When a witness is unsure of something, their nervous habit gives them away. But I can't see anything, Apollo. Eh? Then what's my bracelet reacting to? Wait, maybe... Yes, that has to be it. What has to be it? Your senses, Apollo. They must be sharper than mine. Huh? I can't see it, but you can sense it. I don't know about that, Trucy. I don't have some kind of special power or anything. Listen to me, Apollo. There's a weak point somewhere in Miss Tiala's testimony. But we don't know what her nervous habit is. Well, then what do? You have to perceive it yourself, Apollo. With your eyes and your senses. Then it's up to me and my bracelet. I don't know why, but the bracelet helps. Somehow, touching it helps me focus. Let's give it a shot and bring down that testimony. Perceive! Ah, found it. I had to wait for it to play through. Okay.
Gotcha!
Why would I go to the clinic for a half-a-year-old chart now, you ask? Oh, that's Apollo. But you know why you would go now, don't you? I don't know what you're talking about. It was quite clear, Miss Tiala. You have a nervous habit. The moment you said the word now, you used your right thumb to fiddle with your ring. What? She was unsure. I saw it. Now, that's the key word. This chart wasn't part of your past. It was a clear and present threat. That's ridiculous. Why, if that were the case, I would have had 6 months to do something about it. Indeed. Eh? Which means something happened quite recently. Something to make that chart a problem for you now. I've got her on the ropes now. I can feel it. Oh, I'm starting to feel a bit motion sick from this. Time to strike the killing blow with evidence. Miss Tiala, there's no use trying to hide it. This chart became a threat to you now because of this. A health checkup report belonging to the defendant. The Katakis are trying to get out of the business. The health checkup of this month was their first ever. What did you think when you heard about this? Oh, nothing. Why should I think anything? Oh, I would think you were positively beside yourself. Because you were afraid. You knew what Waki's chest x-ray would reveal. Uh, a full half year had passed since the operation. You thought you were home free, when the chart came back to haunt you. Ah! Pathetic little scream. That's all, Your Honor. What has happened? Did the witness just admit to lying? I sensed it. There was a great aura emanating from her forehead. Very cool. So, the lady was lying, it seems. That's correct. She said she had no connection to the Maractus Clinic. But her connection was deep indeed. A little bit too deep. If Ikitaki's got a hold of this chart with her name, she'd be finished. Isn't that right, Miss Diala? You guessed it. Order! Order! I did it! I broke her testimony. Amazing, Apollo. I didn't see it at all. Daddy was right about you. Wait. Miss Diala? It's true. That chart was bad news for me. That's why I went to meet the doctor that day. But that's all. I told him about Waki and went home. It appears this cross-examination is far from over. What? She hid the truth from us. This is clear, yet it is not clear that this truth has anything to do with the case at hand. Very well. The witness will add this to her testimony. And we'll have a bit more cross-examination. Ah, so close. You're still so close. Keep on her, Apollo. Oh, that was the wrong button. How did Dr. Maractus respond to the warning? Oh, he was quite surprised. Panicky, even. Who wouldn't be scared to learn Ikitaki was after them? Incidentally, this court is not afraid of any mobsters. Why, we had a life-threatening situation just yesterday, right here in this courtroom. Yeah, real impressive the way you stood up to the attack of the amazing Mr. Hat, sir. After which I carried you back to your chambers. Sounds like the judge had quite a fright. Nothing happened in Dr. Maractus' office that day, huh? But what about the mess we found? Something definitely happened in that office, Apollo. I know. But we can't prove when it happened. Nor that Alita Tiala was in any way involved. Well, let's try putting some evidence up anyway. There's no way she went to that clinic just to warn him. You do know why she went, Apollo? Do you know why she went, Apollo? Time to figure out what really happened at the clinic, and fast. Let's present the bullet. Objection! You say nothing happened in the doctor's office? I disagree. Take a look at this. What's that? It looks like a squished up ball of clay. Kind of like you, actually. This bullet was found in the Maractus Clinic office. Something did happen in that office, Miss Tiala. Objection! Enough of this joking around. The police investigated that clinic. Objection! Ah, but this was stuck inside the doctor's safe. Inside the safe? I guess the police didn't check that far. But there is a problem. How can you say that bullet was fired on that day? Weren't you the one who explained the rifling marks to us? The pistol was taken from the Kitaki mansion that day. If the marks on this bullet match the murder weapon, then that proves that a firearm was discharged in the office on the day of the murder. Not bad, Herr Forehead. Bailiff, have this bullet analyzed immediately. "30 minutes later, a report arrives. The rifling marks on both bullets are identical. Well, it seems as though the bullet in the safe was fired from the murder weapon. Perhaps the defense would like to state their position? That a bullet in that safe proves one fact. A pistol was fired in that office on that day. And at the time of the firing, the safe was open. The safe which contained the top secret chart. Man, I'm stuttering a lot. Do you think someone was threatening Dr. Maractus in order to open the safe? Only one person was in a position to do such a thing. Our witness, Alita Tiala. Order, order, order. Mr. Justice, where are you going with this? Are you accusing the witness? Alita Tiala knew about Wakikitaki's botched operation. She got engaged to him without telling him about it. As long as that bullet remained in his chest, his days were numbered. What if she married him and then the bullet finally reached its destination? What? That reminds me. Apparently, the Kitakis have been asserting themselves in lawful business practices. They're making quite a great deal of money. A fortune, if you will. Nefarious! So she planned to marry him just to get her hands on this fortune? You keep talking trash about my Alita, and I'll sue you, lawyer man. Huh? Me? Yeah, you said you'd abuse my Alita. I think you mean accuse. Same difference. Well, you can't have her. She's mine. It was me. I shot that doctor. Me. He left me to die, so I left him to die, too. There in that park. Waki, just cool down a second. Please, you keep your hands off my Alita, or I'll... Miss Tiala? I'm sorry, It's been so long since I've laughed so hard. Something funny? Waki, wake up and smell reality. Alita, baby? The signature on the chart. The engagement. I mean, come on. It's so obvious. Even for a brainless, spoiled brat such as yourself. Alita. Your honesty is like a breath of foul air, Fräulein. Hey, I wasn't getting out of this clean anyway. So, the family fortune is what you're really after? That's right. I wanted the money. No way, that's whack. I ain't trying to hear that. Should have done the wedding earlier. Oh well. By the way, can I ask you a question? Who, me? I believe you said you were going to abuse me? Accuse. Of what crime, might I ask? Huh? Oh, I'm a bad girl, sure. I got close to that brat because I wanted his money. But he was the one with the pistol. He could have fired it into the safe after I had already left the clinic. What? I would never do a thing like that. It was definitely that silly brat. Wait, but... what are you talking about? Trucy, you had the most to lose if that chart was found. But I didn't have a pistol now, did I? Well, you could have taken Waki's. You'd think he'd have mentioned that, no? All I've heard him say is, it was me, I shot him. And that's only because he's trying to protect you. Sorry to intrude in this lovely conversation. But the two of you are forgetting one critical point. What point? Certainly, the Fräulein wanted the chart. You assume she threatened the doctor into opening that safe, but then... wouldn't she have taken the chart? Oh. You see? That chart wouldn't have been left in that state. He's right. Miss Tiala? Yes? It is clear to this court that you are not a very good fiancé. Oh, I'm flattered. Perhaps it's time you told us the truth? Tell us about yourself, including your actions and whereabouts on that day. Don't forget, we've proven that you were at the Maractus Clinic on the day of the crime. Yes, I went to the clinic that day to speak to the doctor. I wanted that chart, but I failed to get it, so I went back to the clinic later. In any case, I didn't shoot him. You don't even have proof I stole the pistol, do you? And that brat was spotted in the park at the moment of the crime. Frankly, I don't think it matters if Dr. Maractus was shot in the temple or not. You went back later? That chart was dangerous, you understand. I needed to get rid of it. That's why I went that day.
But you couldn't get the chart then, could you?
And later that night, Dr. Maractus was shot. I heard about the shooting, waited a day, but then I had to go back. No easy feat with the cops all over the place.
Ah, that was you? Skip the flashback. I said I would a few episodes ago and I did not. So I want to do that now.
So you were the burglar. That was you too? If only I had one more minute. Then I could have opened that safe and gotten that chart.
What? That's trespassing, and brazen at that.
Oh, is this a trial for trespassing now? Besides, you can't blame a girl for wanting to protect herself. They are gangsters, you know.
In any case, Mr. Justice, your cross-examination.
Admitting the little crime to avoid the big one, eh? Yes, I went to the clinic. Yep, okay, hold on. Why did you fail? Later? When I heard what happened, well, I was too scared to do anything that day. So I waited until the day after. The 16th, was it? Of course, you and that meddling kid had to get in my way.
Why didn't Dr. Maractus keep that chart around? It was clearly dangerous for him. He could have burned it.
Because he's a coward. The chart was his insurance.
Insurance?
My signature on that chart, to be more specific. That made sure I couldn't betray him.
Was that what I thought I was pressing?
Why that day? The brat was uncontrollable. He was ready to kill. And that thought would bring the police. And that chart would become evidence. And I'd be hung out to dry. But the police didn't check the safe, did they? Well, they thought the crime scene was the park. I'll make sure the responsible parties feel the heat. Such sloppiness won't be tolerated, yeah? I'm kind of thankful for that sloppiness myself, actually. The doctor was shot in the right temple, yes? So it seems.
Let's review the facts again, shall we? If the killer shot from this location, the bullet would have struck our victim square in the forehead. However, the entry wound was in the right temple. Yes, we heard testimony on this yesterday. At the time of the shooting, the witness was standing here. Just before the gun was fired, he shouted. The victim turned his head to look and was shot.
But that testimony was proven to be a lie. Our egregious panty snatcher, Mr. Stickler, did witness the crime, but he was standing to the north, next to the trash can where he could toss those panties. If Mr. Stickler shouted from this location, the bullet couldn't hit his right temple. Silly, silly attorney. What? Do you remember what you had for breakfast that morning? Do you remember, Trucy? I always have a glass of milk for breakfast. What matters is one thing. The doctor was shot in his right temple. If that's the case, there can only be one explanation. The panties guy was mistaken. But his location was proven. You can't fight that off as him being mistaken.
Then why don't you show us, Herr Forehead?
Show you? What?
Must I explain everything? Very well, let's recap. Again. If the witness, panties guy, was standing to the north, then where was the shooter standing? From what location did the killer shoot the victim? But wait, if the witness was standing there, how could anyone shoot the victim in the right temple? Haha, I merely laid out the facts for us, if it's up to the one possessing the shiny forehead to show us. If you can, that is.
Waki Kitaki was standing at the killer mark, Wesley Stickler at the witness mark, and of course Pal Maractus at the victim mark.
Let's hear what the defense has to say. Where was the killer standing when they shot the victim? As the facts stand now, we can't explain this crime without contradicting ourselves at some point. But I know why. The real killer shot from an entirely different location.
What are you talking about? I don't see any other place.
Apparently, Mr. Justice does. Let's hear it. Where in the park did the killer shoot the victim from? It's time to raise the roof and the stakes. Penalties are such frightening things, don't you think? What if they were a bit more terrifying? Like so. A double penalty? Our forehead wishes to take us in a new direction. Then he must be ready for the challenges ahead. Challenge accepted. It's justice time. Are you sure, Apollo? The key is the witness, Mr. Stickler's testimony. If we believe that and we know where he stood, and the victim turned when he shouted, there's only one place the killer could have been. The killer shot the victim from here. I believe we all owe a debt of gratitude to Miss Alita Tiala. What do you mean? Thanks to you, we had a chance to review this crime. And in this time, we were prepared. We know that Wesley Stickler was telling the truth. We should have listened to him from the beginning. Wesley Stickler was standing next to the trash can when he saw the two men. He shouted just as he told us in his testimony. And the victim turned to look in his direction. And a shot was fired. The victim was hit in the right temple. Oh no! Oh yes! Which direction his right temple was facing? Was his right temple facing at that moment? That's right, towards the noodle stand. Order, order, order. So, you're saying the killer was inside the noodle stand? Let's think about this a bit more, shall we? You say the killer was inside the noodle stand? Which would mean the victim, Dr. Maractus, came to the park, wheeling his own murderer in the cart behind him. This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. I don't think you'd notice if you were pulling someone along. There's something we should worry about before that. Why was he pulling the noodle stand in the first place? Let's deal with our problems one at a time, shall we? Someone was hiding in the stand. Why? We have come this far. We have not come this far to talk about possibilities. Let's talk about the proof, baby. Show us evidence that proves us that somehow. Let's show us evidence that proves someone was in that stand. Can I prove that? You want evidence that someone was in that stand? Well, I've got it. I've got it right here. Intriguing. Let's see what you've got. Show us proof that someone was hiding in the noodle stand. I believe it was this, yes? Unless... Okay, yeah, it's this. The Maractus Clinic, and they're covered with paint. These slippers were found in a trash can near the crime scene. And a single slipper print was found at the scene, right next to the noodle stand. Oh, and Miss Tiala, your toe print was found in the left slipper. In other words, this is proof you were inside that noodle stand. Yet there was only one slipper mark found at the scene. Can this be called a footprint, if in good faith? Observe the diagram. The park pathway runs right next to the slipper mark. The slipper wouldn't leave a trace on cobblestone path. Yet you still cannot say that this is a footprint, Ya. Why not? You have an impression left by a single slipper. What if it was on the stand and simply fell to the ground? That's just a dumb. One more thing. A noodle stand is typically cluttered with the tools of the noodle-making trade. There's no room for a person to ride in there.
You have a point. Could someone have hidden in that stand?
Apollo, I think I might be onto something. I think I figured out one of her pieces of evidence. In order to make room in the stand, some things would have to be...
Well, Mr. Justice? You have proof that someone could have hidden in the stand?
I can prove one thing. Someone did scheme to clear that space in the stand. This is a noodle bowl from the stolen Eldune's noodle stand. Stolen Eldune's noodle stand.
Yes, and what about it?
We discovered a large quantity of these bowls yesterday in the lobby of the Maractus Clinic.
A large quantity of noodle bowls in the victim's clinic?
Mr. Eldune was very clear about those bowls.
Well, I don't care who did it. Without that stand, I'm finished. All my noodle bowls were in there, too.
Yet the bowls were removed. That night, there was space inside that noodle stand. Space created at the Maractus Clinic, no less. Right around the time that you were there, Miss Alita Tiala.
Stop!
I won't listen to any more of these wild fantasies. No, not fantasies. They're worse lies than that spoiled brat's pick-up lines.
I would like to remind the witness of her current status. This court does not consider you entirely innocent.
Show me an innocent, I'll show you a fairy tale.
In any case, the defense has somehow made its points. The witness had both a motive and an opportunity to kill Dr. Maractus.
More fairy tales. This whole trial is a fairy tale.
And please, pull us back down to reality, Miss Tiala. I'm giving you one last chance to explain yourself.
This is it. Why was Dr. Maractus pulling that stand that night? And what was Alita Tiala doing inside of it? Time to get to the bottom of this case. That night, I went to ask Dr. Maractus for the chart. I had no intention of ever letting the chart fall into the Kitaki family's hands, but Dr. Maractus didn't understand. For some reason, he thought the Kitakis had sent me. So I gave up and went home. All I did was talk to him. You knew about the botched operation, so you tried to get rid of the chart to save yourself. I won't make excuses. And I did warn the good doctor. I gave him a chance. I told him that the brat got his health checkup report, and that he was coming to settle the score.
I see. Very well, Mr. Justice, begin your cross-examination.
Yes, Your Honor. This is the last testimony. Either I perceive the truth, or it's over.
Perceive the truth.
There it is. All I did was talk and lie. What? Show me the proof. I'm pretty sure about this one. I think I'm getting the hang of this. A little slip of inconfidence and they give it all away. The proof is you, Miss Tiala. All I did was talk to him, you claim. You can't hide your own nervous twitch when you say those words. My twitch? What are you talking about? You have a habit of scratching the area of your neck around the edge of your scarf. What? What? This is working better than I hoped. Her unconscious actions tell the truth she won't say. Habits on lies, 2 dots, connects the dots and finds the truth. Don't look at me like that. I told you the truth. It seems that when you recall what really happened in office, you can't keep your hands off your neck, can you? Seems that nervous habits are unconscious reactions that manifest when someone is trying to hide something. You can't hide behind your scarf, Miss Tiala. Something happened between you and the victim in the Maractus Clinic office. I'm getting motion sick again. And I've got proof that shows exactly what happened.
What's that? You're touching your scarf again. There's something unusual about this lamp. The bulb is broken, and there's a red splotch on the cord. Eh? Seeing how you'd hide your neck, I think I can come up with a plausible explanation for the lamp's state. Well, spit it out. This talking circles nonsense is killing me. So is this background. Very well. The answer is very simple. Miss Alita Tiala, please remove your scarf. Ah! Oh, finally it stopped. This is a trial to determine what happened in the park. Yet we seem to have drifted off target. We'll find out soon enough if we're drifting, as soon as the witness removes her scarf. I won't do it. This is insane. I'm an unrelated third party. You cannot order me to remove my...
Miss Tiala, I'm afraid you've forgotten what's already been proven.
What?
You're hardly unrelated. Please remove your scarf.
No. No!
Man, she does those screams a lot.
I knew it. So I was right, wasn't I, Miss Alita Tiala? Your neck. That isn't what I think it...
Your neck? That isn't what I think it is it?
Something did happen that night at the Maractus Clinic. You needed to get that shark back, no matter what it took. Even if you had to steal your fiance's pistol to do it.
But wait. Looking at this lamp in the witness's neck, it looks like the very opposite happened.
Exactly. The victim in the clinic that night was this witness. Specifically, you tried to threaten Dr. Maractus and he attacked you. That's what happened that night at the Maractus Clinic.
She really does do the scream a lot. Order, order. Will someone please tell me what really happened?
I told you the truth already. I went to the clinic that night to warn Dr. Maractus. That gangster knows everything. He's coming for you.
Looks like my clinic's seen its last patient.
We have to get rid of that tart. Quick, open your safe. Give it to me.
So you can save your own skin?
What?
I know what you're up to. You want in with the family. And if they see that chart, you're finished. Leaving me holding the short straw. But if I'm going down, I want some company. You.
And what happened next? He jumped at me and knocked me to the floor. Then he took that cord. Pal Maractus was serious. Deadly serious. He really tried to strangle me. I must have blacked out.
So, you were the victim. And the red splotch on the cord was your lipstick.
I didn't want to remember that night. That's why I didn't bring it up. There, are you happy now? I was out cold, almost killed. And you claim I then snuck into that noodle stand, but how could I?
Well, one thing is clear. We now know what really happened at the Maractus Clinic, and it would seem that our victim was not entirely without blame himself.
I'm sorry. I get so nervous just thinking of it, it's hard to breathe. I've told you everything. Can I go home now?
You bear some responsibility for the events that day, true. Yet if you are also a victim, this court would owe you some sympathy. No, it doesn't. Well, Mr. Justice, I believe this clears up the remaining questions for Miss Tiala.
When did this happen? Suddenly, everyone's sympathizing with her. I don't know what to think anymore, Apollo. I mean, is that it? Do we know everything we need to know about Miss Tiala?
Very well, this finishes the cross-examination of this.
Heh.
Not so fast. This party's just getting started. Now we rock. What? Those spikes on your head are softer than they look. Or do you not have the stomach to go all the way? Prosecutor Gavin? Pal Maractus choked Alita Tiala. She fell unconscious. But what happened next? He's right. There's more we don't know. But she was choked hard enough to leave that mark. She would have been out for a while. Even still, what if it was her in that noodle stand? Alita Tiala, half dead. Dr. Maractus pulling that stand. And a bullet fired from inside the noodle stand. What if it's all true? We might have already figured out what truly happened that night. Miss Alita Tiala, as you can see, we're not through with you just yet. You really want to blame me for this murder, don't you? You too, Prosecutor Gavin. Me? Fräulein, I only wish to know the truth. Well, let's go back over what we learned up till now. On the day of the murder, Waki saw his checkup report, from which he learned about the bullet still inside him. So he took a pistol from the family stash, with the intent to give Dr. Maractus some of his own medicine. And Miss Tiala heard about this from Waki, so she went to Maractus' clinic ahead of him, in order to get the chart with her signature. But then, something happened. Sounds like you figured it all out, but remember, I was the victim. I was out cold. But what about Dr. Maractus?
That does seem to be the problem.
He had just strangled Alita Tiala, perhaps, he thought, to death.
He should know that she was alive, though, since he's a doctor and all.
But what crime did he do after this? I was just knocked out, not dead.
From the state of his clinic and the scene in the park, I think it's clear what the good doctor did next. Well, Herr Forehead, care to guess? Well, Mr. Justice, what did Dr. Maractus do?
Maybe he did think he killed Miss Alita Tiala. Do I have evidence to show what he did next?
It's the noodle stand, isn't it? Or would it be the bowl? I don't know what they want me to tell you. He put her in the noodle stand, so I'm going to say it's the noodle stand.
As his next move, Dr. Maractus stole Guy Aldun's noodle stand. What? Killing me disturbed him that much? So much he randomly stole a noodle stand? It wasn't so random. Remember all the bowls in the clinic's foyer? Bowls that belonged inside the stand? I think it's pretty obvious, don't you? That stand was at the clinic. However, the question is, why did he remove the bowls? Maybe because the stand was heavy? Or he wanted to put something in the stand in their place.
Ah! Wait, you don't mean...
I do. Dr. Maractus did replace those bowls with something. Your corpse, Miss Tiala. My corpse? Dr. Maractus panicked, and he thought he'd killed you.
His next move would be to dispose of the body.
That's crazy talk. You're all crazy. Then let's think about it, logically. The doctor had a place to dispose of you in mind. But on his way there, who should he run into but the defendant, Waki Kitaki?
I question your logic. What's this, Prosecutor Gavin?
The park is a dead end. Why would he head in that direction to begin with? That's right, he had no reason to go there. I get it, now I get it. It was a trick. That spoiled brat made him do it. He made the doctor steal the stand. Tell me, why would someone go to a dead end? Unless the park was his destination. What?
Apparently, the defense has an idea. Tell us where Dr. Maractus was heading with the stand. Here, please show us on this diagram. To where exactly was the victim dragging the stand?
This river.
There? That's a river.
Yes, Your Honor. I scarcely need to explain why.
A perfect place to dispose of a body.
He was going to throw me into that river?
You didn't have many other options, Fräulein.
I believe this clears up all the remaining questions. The victim pulling the stand and the defendant before him. And inside the stand was you, Miss Alita Tiala. And then the denouement. Wesley Stickler of panty snatching fame walks up. Seeing the two men, he shouts. In that instant, "So, I shot him? You are the only one who could have stolen Waki's pistol. It had to be you."
Well, Miss Tiala?
Humph. Nice work. You mean, I'm right? I mean, you've done a fine job dreaming up a story to get that spoiled brat off the hook. You're the one who's dreaming. Apollo's backed up everything he said with facts. If you're so sure he's making it up, give us another reason. Why was Dr. Maractus pulling that stand through the park? Who knows? But there's one gaping hole in your logic. I think Mr. Gavin knows whereof I speak. Where of what? I can't believe she's still trying to deny it.
Is this true, Prosecutor Gavin? Must I always be the one to point out Herr Forehead's errors?
Maybe there really is something. I believe that Fräulein speaks of Herr Doctor's car. His car? That's right. The Maractus Clinic has that big garage.
In which sat a green sports car, was it?
Why would he steal the stand in the first place? If he wanted to carry a body, he would have used his car.
And so we find our victim without a probable cause to steal the stand, and our defense without a case.
I have an idea. You know that green car? I bet it wouldn't run. It was broken.
Ah, what an excellent counter-argument, Fräulein. Too bad you're quite wrong.
Huh?
Don't tell me you've forgotten what happened to your daddy.
Daddy? That's right. That night, the car that hit Mr. Wright was that green sports car.
Oh yes, I nearly forgotten about it. Afterwards, he drove it back to that garage. It ran fine.
That's right. So why didn't he use his beloved sports car,
A glaring contradiction, to be sure. More glaring than your forehead.
No. No! Come on, Apollo. How can you not think of one reason? There's plenty of reasons why.
Order! Order! Well, Mr. Justice, why didn't Dr. Maractus use his car to carry the body? Is that a groan of surrender I hear? Some advice. Now's a good time to review all you know. Everything you've learned over the last 2 days.
Everything I've learned.
Mr. Justice, this contradiction casts doubts on your entire case. This is truly your last chance. The defense will explain to us what happened that night.
I have an idea. It's all coming together. That night, Dr. Maractus couldn't use his car. Ha! Now you're making even less sense than usual. Not according to my information, Miss Tiala. Put one and one together and the explanation is simple.
If it's so simple, perhaps you can show us some evidence. Show us proof why the car wouldn't run that night. Let's see now. Panties? Again?
All sorts of things come out of my panties. Even the truth. Another crime was committed the night of the murder. The theft of these panties, the latest in a string of similar thefts, actually. But that night, the snatcher was caught in the act. A brave young girl chased the thief until he hid in the Maractus Clinic garage. What? The snatcher hid the panties there before running. Perhaps someone in this court remembers where he hid them.
Why, weren't they found in the car's exhaust pipe?
Exactly. By the way, I learned something yesterday. A very important piece of information. And I learned it from you, Prosecutor Gavin. So you were here investigating?
And I was on my way home when my hog gave up the ghost.
Your hog?
My motorcycle won't start. A clogged exhaust pipe.
Too bad. It looks like such a nice bike, too. Hard to believe that it could break from just that. Cars, motorbikes, they're all the same. Plug the exhaust and they won't run. My, how interesting. While Miss Tiala and the doctor were struggling, the panty snatchers snuck into the miraculous garage. From that time until the time we found these, that car wouldn't start. What? That's why Dr. Maractus had to use the noodle stand. It was the next closest thing he could think of. Well, Miss Tiala, this wraps your doubts up quite nicely, I think. So it does. Where am I? So dark. Can't see. Cramped. This pain. My throat's burning. What's your problem? You, Doc. I know what you did. Walkie? You lied to me, so you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna give you a taste of your own medicine, man. Wait, let me explain. Fine, I'll give you your last request. Listen, you're being tricked, but not how you think. That's not just me. No. He'll ruin everything. I have to stop him. Cease this at once, you two. Funny. This isn't the way it was supposed to turn out. Oh well. Too bad. There's still one mystery. How did you manage to disappear from that stand? In the silence after the shot, I heard the witness running. I believe we heard as such from Wesley Stickler. He went to use a public phone to inform the police, which is when I made my escape. Which is when he left the slipper prints. Dr. Maractus didn't bother taking my slippers off. I threw them out after I stepped in the paint, though. That was your mistake. No, my biggest mistake was coming to you for help, Mr. Justice. I believed in you. You and your anything agency. If anyone would get Walkie declared guilty, it was you. I believe we've reached a conclusion of sorts. Prosecutor Gavin, how's Miss Alita Tiala doing? She's confessed to everything. We're processing her arrest now. Prosecutor Gavin sure seems calm for someone who just lost. I think he already knew. He figured out she was a killer for a while ago. Some advice. Now's a good time to review all you know. Everything you've learned over the last 2 days. He lost, but I didn't exactly win either. Something the matter, Herr Forehead? Looks like it's time to announce a verdict. Court is adjourned. Great job, Apollo. You did it. Yeah, we did somehow. Walkie's off the hook. Free to become the gangster he's always wanted to be. And he has you to thank. Hey, attorney man. You're gonna pay for what you did to my Alita, Holmes. Or to blame, I guess. You give my Alita back. Stupid pointy-headed attorney with a death wish. Enough, Walkie. Ah, Mr. Gitaki. It's high time you opened your eyes, Walkie. Actually, so I know we always have this ending bit. Okay, I just wanted to review that first. What do you know, old man? I think it's about time you open yours. Giving up the life, trying to become some kind of businessman? Don't talk about what you don't understand, Walkie.
I'm afraid the guard is going to throw them both out. If not in jail, wouldn't that be a happy ending? Hey, maybe we can help them out. We know why Mr. Kitaki needs so much money. Maybe we should tell Waki. Oh, Waki, Polly has something to tell you. Huh? I do? Why'd you put me on the spot? What's that? I'm gonna save scum this just in case I get it wrong, because I don't know which of the two it wants me to show him. And I'd like to get this at. Nice little ending. Show him the reason why, Apollo. Why is Mr. Kitaki trying to become a businessman? Well, obviously it's to pay for this. Think about it, Waki. Think about your condition. I talked with your mother, Little Plum, yesterday. It pays, but we need a lot of money right now. Clean money, that is. She doesn't mean... You aren't really... Are you? I searched the globe, and I found one. A doctor who can take that bullet out of you, Waki. But it's an expensive procedure. Man, but you got plenty of money already, don't you? I won't use it. It was the gangster life that did this to you, Waki. I want to help you, and I wanted to do it clean. Please understand, Waki. Dad. Man. I see how it is, old man. I always you looking out for... Waki? Listen good, old man. One day, I'm gonna take you out. Then we'll see who's the OG. You try hide in your business suit, I'll find you. Stupid old geezer. My, Waki. No. It's as it should be. Mr. Kitaki. I like them more without the puppy dog eyes. I'm glad to have met you. I'm not so good with words, but I know a professional job when I see one. Thank you. Who, me? I don't think... Someday, I'll bake you one of our latest, the Kitaki Lime Pie. He's opening a pie shop? So long. And he was gone. Well, let's head back, Apollo. The Right Anything Agency. Hey, since when do I work at your agency? Aw, we make such a good team. Don't just stand there, let's get going. Huh. Why not? She did help me out. And there's a few questions that I still need answers. Like this power of mine that she showed me. And my bracelet. If anyone can help me figure it out, it's her. Though I can't say I care much for her father, for what her father has become. Oh, that's right, we have to go someplace first. Huh? Where? Why, to claim our reward from Mr. Eldoon. Ah, salty noodles, right. You gotta stand back already? Oh, and after that you can come see my show, with a special appearance by the amazing Mr. Hat. Oh, it's a special, alright. Please, anything but him. And look at that, we've reached the end, just in time as the vents start whirring about. Not sure if you guys can hear it quite yet, though. And look at that. We have officially made it halfway through Apollo Justice, Ace Attorney. The next trial is the last one that I remember anything about, and I remember barely of it. So I'm sure it will be quite a bit interesting. But of course, with that being said, this is the end for now. And with that being said, I am Siku Scuffed. Thank you for tuning in, and I am signing off.